Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dads, listening to Tomcats, talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. Get some weed in now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the 140th episode of the Penny Bloom Podcast. 'Tis I, Colton Robertson, and you are back for Mutants Monthly, the Halloween Spook-tacular, and I would be joined by no one else but Aurora Carter. What's up?
Hey, what's up? Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Happy to have you here. And it's a fun episode. It's the funnest episode we've had slated. I knew this one was always going to be fun. We're talking the best X-Men costume design across all comic book media, and we're going to give some horror X-Men recommendations at the end for what comics to check out and stuff. But yeah, I'm ready to talk costume design because X-Men, objectively for me, has always presented a wild collection of costumes and looks they're trotting out there. And they've gone with the more, we're all going to rock the same thing, we're going to be uniform, and then they've also gone giant size, where everyone's got their own look. There's some things connecting them, like a yellow accent, some pointed shoulders, but other than that, you're not getting much. It's a lot of fun across the history of X-Men. But yeah, how about we got 10 each here, right? 10 each?
Oof, I think it's a little bit uneven now.
Oh yeah, we got a few in there.
We have a few. We have a good list. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll go back and forth like with we'll call it a top 10. There might not even be 10, and it's not even ordered, but we're going to call it a top 10. Sure. And so let's start with your first costume here that you have presented before us.
Well, actually, I think the one that we're talking about, that's my worst mention. It just happened to be at the top.
That's your worst mention? Okay, I got you.
Worst.
All right, then I'll start with mine.
Yeah.
I'm going the classic Magneto design. The red and the purple together is too iconic. It's exactly what you look for in a Magneto costume. I mean, he's had a clean look with the like white and silver. That's a really clean Magneto look. However, you just can't beat the classic with the purple accent on the predominantly red costume. The red helmet with the purple outline is just gas. And I mean, I've always loved the chest piece that comes over Magneto that looks like it has like bolts in it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. I've always thought that looked so clean for some reason. And so that was one that I had to go with early on. And I mean, like, beyond the costume design, the character design itself and the way his powers look and stuff whenever you can like see them, like in the cartoon where it's like the waves coming off whatever he's doing. I've always liked the way they
giving Pocahontas realness. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love how thick it looks. Like, it's like he looks like royalty. He's like, yeah, like, I'm going to have a cape. I look amazing. I'm going to fuck.
He does. And I mean, like, depictions with his white hair, that's just beautiful. He's always got a good head of hair on him too. Mm-hmm. That's always coming with Magneto.
He has really good keeps.
He does.
Yeah, and I also love like the aesthetic, like also like the big, I don't know if it's a belt. I don't know what it is that's around his waist.
It's thick as fuck though. I know what you're talking like. It's thick. That's the only way to describe it. And it's like it goes from like his belly button to like mid thigh. It feels like, and it's like,
and it's just giving me like bodybuilder, but yet I really think like everything on Magneto's body, except for like of course his, I don't want to say latex. I don't know what material it is. I'm just gonna say latex. But other than his cape and his latex, literally everything on him could be a weapon. Everything, his collar, like the thing around his waist, even his helmet, it could be a weapon.
And I know it's probably a lot easier for him to like, it's easy enough for him to lift himself up by the metal that is in his body, like his iron levels and stuff. But like, he's probably decking that costume out with metal just to make it a little easier. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's gotta be a big ass metal belt, big ass metal helmet. Like, he's got metal all up in that bitch. He's like, that's gotta help him float and shit. He's making it easy on him, and I respect that.
I just love how, like,
and that cape, that purple cape. I love a good cape.
Edna Mode will hate you, but
I know, and I got it then. The Incredibles don't need capes. There are some heroes that don't need capes, but there are a lot of heroes who can pull off a fucking cape.
Yeah,
and Magneto can pull off a fucking cape.
Anyone like whipped his ass by pulling him down by his cape? Has anyone ever done that? Because I don't remember anything like that.
Sure. I don't either. And I'm actually looking at my whole list now, and Magneto is one of 2 capes, so I have 8 without.
Okay.
So Edna Mode might not be hating me all that much.
Yeah.
But let's talk your next one. My first one was Magneto. Classic look. What's your first here?
Okay, let's go to, give me 1 second. Let's go to the iconic green and yellow Rogue. Ooh. X-Men 90s, yes, the 90s.
And you know, I'm gonna go ahead and say fuck it. That's also mine. Like that's also on mine. So like that's a 2 for me.
Yes,
that'll be my 2.
Everything, even like in everything from like the wavy hair to the way, like,
I mean,
it's just, and then like I love, like, one thing. See, the girls know this. When the yellow is going down and the green is going to the side, it's defining her hips, man. It's defining everything. This is beautiful.
Yeah. It accentuates her features quite a bit.
And she has the belt on for no fucking reason, and the jacket and the belt, like, oh.
Bro, the jacket and the belt. There's one reason for that belt to be there.
Yeah.
And it's not holding shit up.
It's not. It's for you to look at it.
It's true. And I mean, like, that jacket, the jacket in the 90s cartoon is like my favorite. Mm-hmm. I think that's my favorite piece of her costume, just because it's like, I don't know, it's just a fucking jacket she likes to wear.
Yes.
And I appreciate that. She's just like, well, this is a cool costume and all, but this is my lucky jacket.
It's just like, so you wouldn't expect like yellow, like a golden yellow with green and brown to work so good, but she is pulling it off.
And there's a lot of, I think green and yellow for me is an underrated color combo across comic media, because I remember I was playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 with my little brother who's 11, and I would be like Iron Fist or the Dark Phoenix, and I'd rock the Dark Phoenix green and yellow suit, or Iron Fist is always pretty classically green and yellow. And I loved the way those costumes look, and it truly is because of this color combo. It's such a weird one that doesn't feel like it should work, but if you get the hue and the tone right, it can look really clean together. What's shocking about Rogues, particularly, especially in that cartoon, is how bright the green is.
Yes,
and somehow making that work well.
It's so vibrant. Everything on it is vibrant. But then it's
incredibly vibrant.
Yes, and one thing I love about this illustration of Rogue, this was the most, I think, badass but yet fun. Like, this was a Rogue that was still fun. Post Captain Marvel, post Brotherhood, but still keeping her funny wits. Like, and it's also Gambit Rogue, you know, like her and Gambit love interest. So it's like, it's a lot of history with this costume.
And I ain't gonna cap. I'm looking at our list now, so I just want to give him a little love. That's one whose character design is classic and did not make our list. Gambit.
I was thinking of that.
I mean, I thought about it and I looked at all these different ones and I was like, another fascinating thing I found about Gambit is there's like not a lot of variation.
It's not. It's
like
it's not.
He's got his look and that's kind of it. The long coat and the purple pink like chest plate.
Well, don't forget his Willy Wonka look in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Fair.
It was very Willy Wonka.
Yeah. And see, like, he could be such a cool character to bring to life, and they just kind of bombed in that movie in general and introducing characters.
All they had right was the accent, maybe. But yeah, but this Rogue, even her holding this big ass thing that I don't know what it is above her head, but she just looks like she just in it to, like, I just love her. She's like that good girlfriend everybody needs, that homegirl you can run to.
I'm not gonna cap with you. This illustration you've sent, I think what was definitely created for the male gaze. I don't believe she's holding anything above her head. I think she is reaching behind her head and kind of like grabbing her hair. Yeah. This is a bit of a sexualized portrait of Rogue. Still,
I'm not
a killer costume.
Like looking at that.
I mean, like, it's the same costume as the one from the '90s cartoon as the one that I plugged into the Google Doc here at the.
Oh, you did?
Bottom.
Okay.
Yes, I chose the '90s animated Rogue and it is the same costume. Just animated.
Is her coat brown or green here?
Her coat in the animated series is more of like an army green.
Okay.
And so is the belt. So there's not as much brown in the version of the one that I sent, but I am noticing now that the belt in yours and the jacket in yours were brown indeed, and that's actually a really clean look. Just because like a brown, I think a brown jacket, like, it's pretty clean, hard to go wrong. I mean, you could fuck it up with like black pants or something, but. But yeah, I always loved the animated series Rogue. She's definitely my favorite character design from the animated series. That's really easy for me, and I actually don't have another animated series character. Oh wait, that's a lie. I don't want to spoil it though. In fact, you know what? I'll go ahead and or no wait, you have another one to present, don't you?
Are we going straight down like the order of my list that interrupted your list? Or we'll bounce it back and forth?
See, because here's the thing. Go ahead and pick a random one, because when you presented Rogue, like, that's one of mine too. So
okay, I'll just pick
whatever feels most natural to build upon there.
Old Man Logan, let's go to that.
Old Man.
He has a brown
Logan.
jacket too, so let's go to him.
There's the link. There's the link. Gosh, no, that Old Man Logan. That's classic. And I know it's only a storyline that's been really relevant for 10 to 15 years, maybe.
And that's like, considered new.
That's considered new in comics. Like, that's a relatively new thing because it goes back to the fucking 1940s. But I appreciate if there's a Logan look or a Wolverine look I fuck with, it's when he is Logan. Whenever he isn't donned in the spandex and the bright colors and stuff, but whenever he's rocking a jacket with a cigar in his fucking mouth and he's got like a wife beater on underneath that jacket, that's Logan. You know, that's who you expect. You wouldn't.
That's Logan.
That's Logan. It really.
I mean, that's him before he, joined the X-Men. That's literally how he looked.
Yeah, and I mean, I love the white hair on Old Man Logan.
Yes.
That's just a fantastic look. And I've also always, like, in the Logan movie, I loved his look in that. I also love the way they made, like, his claws coming out is like a process. Like, that is hard for
It's like erectile dysfunction. It's like an allegory for erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, but Old Man Logan, that's just a fantastic design. I love it.
Like one
No, what's
thing
that?
that like I love about like Old Man Logan, it looks like he doesn't look angry. Like even throughout the comic, he doesn't look angry. He looks almost like sad. Like he looks very depressed the whole time.
And that's a hallmark of Logan's character for me, because there is a sadness to the Wolverine, because I mean there's that classic line like I'm the best at what I do, and what I do ain't pretty. Like that's he doesn't like being the merciless killer who is just unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's what he's best at, and it's what he's been programmed to do time and time again. And he's also going to live forever. There's a sadness that comes with immortality. And I know he doesn't technically live forever, but there are points where he can't be killed. There's no reason for him to not believe that he's immortal at points. So I think that there's an innate sadness that comes with that sort of not being able to be hurt and not being able to die. Like he effectively can't die. Like there's only one thing that can really do that to him, and it's water.
Yeah, it's like this.
I could go on about Wolverine. That's my favorite.
Well,
that's my favorite X-Men for sure.
Well, it's like with Old Man Logan, I really feel like this is like the only one of the only like storylines period that really gave like a different light on Logan. Like it really wasn't him just being like vicious. Even the film, it was just him like trying to deal with his age and his mental state,
memory loss, and
like it was so much. Like I really think Logan, Old Man Logan, really didn't understand how much he actually feel and loved his peers and stuff until he was Old Man Logan. Until it was all stripped away from him.
And that's always crucial for that character. Mm-hmm. Is like and that's what's awesome about his dynamic with the X-Men whenever he's all in. Because like this is a dude who is a loner, who felt like he should roll by himself all his life and stuff. Like, so whenever he does find this family, and that's very much what the X-Men is about, is the found family aspect. Mm-hmm. He's just like the perfect defining character for the whole group.
Yeah.
Like this bitter, lonely guy who came to accept that he can be loved and love others.
It's just like he gives me like that one uncle that's always distant, never come to the family reunions or family portraits. And then when everybody like, I hate people, get off my grass. And then as soon as everybody is dead, he just like, fuck, I could have had like a hot dog or a cookout or something with them. Like, I'm just shit.
Right.
Do you have?
I want to build on your Logan selection, and I'm a throw in my Wolverine selection.
Go ahead.
Wolverine as drawn by John Cassidy. This is a astonishing Wolverine in the astonishing X-Men from the early 2000s. It's my favorite take on the yellow and blue costume. And here's the thing. The reason I put this here is because I can't stand the yellow and blue Wolverine costume. Doesn't make sense to me. To me, it doesn't fit the character at all. I like the flashiness, and it's certainly a product of its time from like the 1970s. And the reason I put this here is because this is far and away, for me, the best take on it.
This one, correct? Oh, sorry.
John Cassidy. It's
the blue.
It's right below it's right above your Rogue selection.
Okay, yeah, okay, same one. Good. All right.
Yeah. It's there's a certain, and I don't know if it is John Cassidy's art style that really just makes this that much better of a costume for me than his other yellow and blue designs. But I love the way this is drawn, and the way the blue is kind of tapered off in various parts across his midsection, and I feel like this really accurately depicts the bowling ball nature of Logan, of the Wolverine, his shoulders being so incredibly fucking wide, and him being so incredibly fucking short.
And his what's it called? Crow? Is it called Crow? That his helmet part?
Oh, the cow.
The cow. Yeah, the two Batman kissing. Like that's
Yeah. No, yeah. And see that's a feature of the costume that I do get. You know, like the animalistic, pointed nature of Wolverine. It makes sense to have that. It was just the color choice never made sense to me because, like, I don't know. He doesn't seem like all that flashy of a guy.
Yeah, it seems like he's drawing attention to himself.
Yeah, and it's like that's just not something that I feel like he wants to do all that much.
You know what? Literally, Cyclops's like blue-gray tone of his costume right next to him. If that was into his costume, I feel like that would be more Wolverine. That would be more Wolverine.
It's just really vibrant, and Wolverine is just not an incredibly vibrant personality. So I do think it does exude his brash confidence. Like you could see me coming from a mile away, and you will not stop me.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. However, I don't think he aims to throw his confidence in people's faces. Like it's like if he needs to, he'll show you what the fuck is up. That's just kind of it. But yeah, and John Cassidy is just one of my favorite X-Men artists of all time. I have another character drawn by John Cassidy on here.
Sure, shoot.
For later on.
Oh.
I'm very excited to get to.
Is that all you had to say about Wolverine?
Yeah, that's it. We did a lot of talking about his character, and I feel like that's more than enough for me.
Okay, which one do I want to go to? Oh, do you want to go to another one of yours?
What have you presented? 2?
Yeah, I was gonna say so it could be.
Okay,
yeah.
I've had technically 3 because I also did Rogue.
Oh yeah. Let's go to Phoenix Force, Emma Frost. Let's go to that.
Phoenix Force, Emma Frost.
Yes.
And we'll dive more into the character next month with Fear and Loathing and Dark Phoenix. However, this is a fantastic character design. This
exploits the hell out of her, but she looks so amazing. This gold and white.
It is a really sexualized costume. However, it's objectively a fucking cool costume.
It is. Like it's you know what? It kind of literally, if you replace the skin tone to be darker and the hair to be whiter, I could see this being a Storm costume. I could really see this being a Storm. I actually,
in my quest for a Storm costume, found a costume that looks a lot like this. And different color tones and stuff in different spots, but that golden navel plate comes down over her breasts and down her midsection is incredibly thin, and therefore doing the same exact effect that Rogue's yellow thing did earlier. She just had green on the sides. And I mean, there's already that's the only thing that really distinguishes it from a lot of Emma Frost's looks, because this cape that's attached at the elbows and the boots and the forearm, the sleeves, those are pretty typical of an Emma Frost look, I would say.
Yeah, and very typical of a Storm look. The cape to the elbows, very typical.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one thing about Emma Frost, though, is she has always been sex appeal. Like, that's literally her character, is to be. But she's not I think it's for me, for my sake, it's not for my sake. I really feel it's not her just being really sexual. She just into her, she's very much confident in her body. And she just I'm that bitch. That's what she gives me. She's no one is going to touch me. I'm here. Boom.
I think that comes across in all of her appearances. Even in the even in the movies. Like, I know that she wasn't incredibly prevalent, but like there was an obvious confidence to her. Like, she is hot and she knows it. Like, that's just a character trait of hers. Like, she's like, I'm the shit. What are y'all gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, I can read your mind.
I'm literally diamond skin.
Like, diamond skin.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Like, I am that. Like, I am what Marilyn Monroe was talking about. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm a bigger fan of the classic Emma Frost with the all white. However, this is a strong look with the golden navel down the middle.
You know, like how, and I'm not gonna get into this much because we're talking about this next month, of course. But like the green and the gold and the white, it kind of resembles like Jean Grey's White Phoenix of the Crown look, because she has that exact costume. That's just why I just wanted to touch on. But since Jean and Emma Frost always go back and forwards a lot, I think Jean would be so pissed that she was around Scott with this. Like, with this one.
Yeah.
So pissed.
Well, and that's I've always been intrigued by the whole fact that there's like in some storylines there's a Scott, Emma, Jean love triangle, which could very well be happening at the same time as the Scott, Logan, Jean love triangle, and it's just like a weird net that they're all so caught in.
Weird. And
it's fascinating for sure.
It's so fucking weird. I really cannot wait to talk about that. Like, I have so much stuff to talk about.
I know, I'm ready for it.
Yeah. But do you have one?
Is that all you got for Emma Frost here?
That's all I have.
All right. Let's see. Where do I want to go after Emma Frost here? And we were talking about the animated series design a little bit ago, so I'll bring it over to that. I lied when I said I thought Rogue would be my only one. I actually have 3. I've got Jubilee.
Oh, is that up? Yep. Is that up?
Yep. Jubilee. She is
Jubilee.
Below my Magneto. Yeah. I've always loved Jubilee's character design. It's really simple, really, really 80s. Like, that's the driving force behind her character, is just how incredibly 80s it is.
Yeah.
Her popping up in Apocalypse and them talking about like the Star Wars trilogy for a second and making a joke about how the third one's always the worst. It was just very, very funny.
And I love
Jubilee. Yeah. She's jubilant. She is youthful and exuberant. Like, that's her whole thing. Like, she is the firework power, incredible, and the yellow gloves, yellow jacket, pink goggles. Like, it's just, that is 80s as fuck, man, and I love it.
80s as fuck. And like, one thing I like about her is like the only thing really on her that I would say is superhero-esque is the gloves and the way the gloves are designed. Everything else could be like a street-ish outfit.
Oh yeah, that's like, she straight up rocks streetwear whenever she's fighting crime, protecting mutant kind.
Like, she's comfortable. Like, she has the turtleneck sweater with the high-waisted pants and the belt. Like,
that's just a fit. She's just getting off a fit.
That's literally just a fit. Like, that's what she was wearing every day. The first episode of X-Men, like 90s, when she ran into Rogue and Storm. Like, she was just wearing that.
They were like, all right, and we'll put this big ass jacket and gloves on you. Now you're a superhero. Yeah. Isn't that cool?
I can see it right now. Let me go to the store to get my outfit. Big ass gloves and jacket. Give me that.
I'm gonna get a raincoat.
Okay, it might be wet where I'm going.
You never know. But yeah, and like also the earrings. Small little detail that's
the earrings, fun. The little button right there on her shirt, like not a button, what they called? Oh man, what are they called?
A little pin.
Yeah. It's a brooch. Is that what it is?
A brooch. Yeah. Yes. There you go.
Yeah, brooch. And I'm like, you know what? Until you said that was like sunglasses or goggles above her head, I did not know I did not pay attention. I thought it was like a bandana because everybody was wearing a bandana-esque type thing. Rogue had one.
Rogue was having a bandana.
Had one. Like, It was all like a bandana type situation.
But yeah, I think those are like to protect her from the fireworks that she shoots out is like the general idea. She don't need all that light flashing in her eyes.
Yeah. Was she always like the butt of the joke in like
well, she's always the little sister type. Mm-hmm. She's never like I don't think there's a lot of Jubilee adaptations where she's like grown. She's always like on the younger side of the X-Men.
Yeah. I really felt like her and Kitty Pryde was like the same, like little, but Kitty Pryde like grew up. Like they
have their like I can't even like they're like I mean Jubilee was relatively relevant in the comic books we'll recommend later with Logan and the vampires and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But and that one she's like she's an adult who has moved on from the superhero life, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. But like, it's just because she is one of those mutants who can hide their ability, does not have to use it. It's like a really particular ability. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can hide shooting fireworks out of your hands if you don't have to do it.
Yeah. And also because I don't have that character's image put up by another light character, I just want to briefly just say Dazzler.
He's always huge in the Phoenix Saga. Like that's.
I wasn't trying to go to Phoenix. I was just thinking light. I was just thinking light powers, and I thought of Dazzler.
I feel you, but like I always think of the Phoenix Saga when I think of Dazzler. That's her most relevant. That's her most relevant appearance. But Dazzler is another one that like feels like akin to Jubilee for sure. She could be brought to life in some pretty interesting ways too, for sure. If they ever wanted to bring her over into live action for whatever reason.
Yeah, just get Taylor Swift.
Right.
Yeah, I just wanted to briefly say that. Yeah, Dazzler. Yeah.
But yeah, Jubilee, she's dope, and I thought her animated series design is classic. It's not my favorite from the show, but she stands out amongst the rest for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What's your next one here?
Okay, let's see. What do I want? Okay, let's stay a little bit more on the animated side, since it's also an animated cartoon, but it's not an animated art right now. It is Storm with the all white.
That is my next animated series pick.
Yeah.
So there we go. We both had Rogue and we both had Storm, which makes a lot of sense if we're being for real. Those are far and away the best costumes from the animated series. That white, silver, gold accented with the big red X buttons connecting the cape. It's just that's a classic look. There's no two ways about it.
You know, one thing I've always wondered about this outfit was, is this actually like real material or did Storm make it? Because I remember in the first episode of the X-Men 90s show, she literally just had like wind come around her and the shit was on. I just don't. Was that a Superman effect or?
I think like comic book properties have gotten pretty lenient with like, oh, that makes sense. But I do think that was supposed to be like a quick change thing where she was just protecting herself for a moment and then she got into a new outfit.
Yeah.
However, I don't know. It would be interesting to see if that was like some sort of molecule in the air manipulation to like create a fabric she could wear. But I don't know that her powers go quite as far as that, because then she could probably just do like Wanda and the WandaVision shit where she's just creating shit from thin air.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's white, so I was like, hey, but then also red and stuff in it. But yeah, it would be very WandaVision-esque. So yeah. But this outfit is so uncanny. It's just as uncanny as the black and gold long cape. It's literally as iconic. Like what was that? The black one, was that giant size X-Men?
I believe her first appearance was in the black and giant size.
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, the same issue where Thunderbird died. Like
yeah. She's dressed in all black.
Okay.
With the gold accent. It's just basically this, but inverted.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, like I love this outfit. I was gonna go with Storm with the mohawk. I was gonna go that far. I love, what's that, punk Storm? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I would guess, but you can't deny the big beautiful white lines.
You can't.
It's just gold there. It's perfect. I mean, I've always loved the like I said, the white hair, and that's really why the white costume works better than the black costume, is because it accents her hair so freaking well.
Yeah, and her skin tone, and her skin tone too, to like really show, and then with the white eyes and stuff, it's like you can really like it's really well. Like it doesn't, and one thing about it's cool, it doesn't seem too much, even though it's all over her. It doesn't seem like too much.
No, yeah, like it is interesting to put it that way, because it was one of the things that I was noticing here too, is that like I wouldn't say that this is too much white or silver or whatever at all, and it's literally every inch of her body.
And don't forget the lightning earrings. The lightning earrings.
That's just cold. That's just cold. She knew what she was doing.
Yep. And then it also, the costume comes with thigh-high boots that she is wearing. Okay, it's not attached to the material.
True. She's gotta put them things on.
Yeah, like and then the gold belt, like yeah. This is
the gold belt. That's hard too. That's hard.
This is a fit.
She serves, and that's like what she does every time. She just be knocking looks out of the park. That's just her thing.
This is a fit, and I love it. I love it so much. Yeah. I love it. Does it look the same as your Storm? Is that like a subtle difference?
There's not subtle. I mean, like the Storm that I put on here, the animated one, is more yellow than it is gold.
Yeah.
That's kind of the primary difference. But other than that, it looks like the same costume.
Yeah. Can we just give like to appreciate how like Storm always looks built,
jacked.
Like she is
ripped up like Rambo.
She is like that woman is, and I've thought Storm is like a nudist, like a part-time nudist. I thought she was, if I'm not mistaken.
She'd be up in the gym just working on her fitness.
Yeah.
Fergalicious,
yeah,
baby. But
Storm, always iconic X-Men, and then iconic as, was she the first black person in the X-Men team? Was Storm?
She would have been the first to be a main member of the X-Men, because I think Bishop came after, but he's the only other one I could think of that would have given her a run for her money. I'm fairly certain she was the first black X-Men.
Yeah, because before that was only the first class, if I remember.
Yeah, you're right. Right. Giant Size was the reinterpretation.
Oh yeah, when they all quit and say, you know what, we'll be on this island for too long. Deuces.
Yep.
Got you. Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay, I just wanted to disappoint that. Okay, I'm surprised I don't have Bishop on this list now that I think about it.
I got very, very, very close to putting Bishop on this to this list. He was actually almost the live action one I went with.
He was good. With his long dreadlocks,
in live action.
He was good.
Yeah. So you know what? Since I dipped my toe in the water there with the live action, I'm gonna throw out a Nightcrawler.
Okay, let's go to Nightcrawler.
I thought this was for me, it's the best way to bring his classic costume to life, because that's obviously something they didn't touch in X2. They didn't try to go near the classic Nightcrawler costume with the red kind of V shape over his top half, but they really brought it to life well, and I think that's Dark Phoenix, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so because he's not rocking that in Apocalypse. I don't think, or is he?
Hey, that's Apocalypse. That's not Dark Phoenix.
That's Apocalypse.
No, but you remember
Okay.
Dark Phoenix, the movie? They had the yellow X's.
They had they did. Okay, yes, that is Apocalypse then. And I was saying this off mic earlier. Apocalypse for me, far and away, the best live action costume design across all of X-Men, and this is just a small example, as this isn't even one particularly my favorite costume from that movie. However, I just thought it stood out as a great live action interpretation of a classic costume,
yes,
like Nightcrawler's.
I also love the white what is it, guard? Is that a white guard?
Yeah, those forearm guards.
Yeah, forearm guards. Yes, I it's giving me very much soccer, but
yeah, a little bit.
But I actually like it. Honestly, because this was the scene in the end of Apocalypse while the Sentinels was coming out in the danger room. I think everyone's costume looked good here. Like Quicksilver had his white, Storm had hers, Jean had the yellow and blue, even though it wasn't vibrant, it was very matte. But everyone looked good. Even Mystique, so Jennifer Lawrence Mystique had the white. Everybody was actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, I wish they would have fallen more back on that comic loyal live action look.
Yeah. You know what would have been like amazing on your Nightcrawler if they would have had, he didn't have to take him out. If you would just see the handles of two swords in his back, that would have been the icing on the cake. That I would have got goosebumps. I would have been like, oh yeah. That'd
have been perfect. But yeah, the only reason I put this on here was because of just there are a few live action interpretations of classic costumes that like really, really do it justice, and I feel like this one did it. This one did really well. How about we stick with the live action Apocalypse here and head down to your next one and mine after.
Okay, I was right here on her. I was going to say that. So my live action is Psylocke, and I love this outfit because I think it's very comic accurate. I really think it is. Except
it certainly is.
Did the comic have more of a like vibrant purple somewhere?
Yeah, it's a little bit brighter for sure. It's just there's only so much you can do with the vibrancy of live action costumes, I think, before it becomes like a digital editing thing.
Correct. Yeah, okay, I could get that. But everything,
especially with like such a deep purple blue color.
Yeah. Like I just love the detail. Like it's actually in the what is it? The cloth belt around her waist.
Yes.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
It's giving me X-Men Beyonce, literally. But like
it's
and then like the sword, and then like actually I just zoomed in.
Bro, this is absolutely something Beyonce would wear at a performance.
Absolutely.
No, I ain't even thought of it like that. That's spot on.
It's a leotard. That's literally what it is. That's what Beyonce.
Yeah, with just like a little bit of armor.
Yeah, and I love also how like the belt. Well, actually, I don't know if it's like a belt. It looks like she took cloth and it's like a curtain and just tied it around. But how long it is, like
yeah.
I just love everything, and the sword, like how it was in the movie, how she can change it into like any form. I think it was I think her power is telekinetic energy in like a hard form.
Yeah, like she has a similar
Green Lantern
power to
type
Gambit.
thing.
Gambit was kind of had something similar with like an ability to absorb kinetic energy in there and eject it, but he didn't have the ability to form it the way that Rogue can, or not Rogue, Psylocke can.
So she is like more like a Green Lantern.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. And I'm gonna tie this back to your Emma Frost earlier with the Dark Phoenix design. You see the slits in her boots and then on her gloves.
Yes.
That's a great detail, and one of the things that I loved about the Dark Phoenix Emma Frost costume, and I love seeing it tied back in here with Psylocke's live action. look.
You know, one thing for me, and you know, you might have a different opinion because you are male, but for me, this is sexy, but it looks, it's like I don't really give off like it's sexy as hell, but it doesn't scream like, oh, this is.
It's not. And this is where it differs from that Dark Phoenix Emma Frost look you were.
Yes.
It is not male gazy. It's just it is objectively a good looking superhero fit that just happens to also make her look madly attractive.
Yeah. And can we talk about how well tailored this is to her body? Like usually when like, you know, curvy woman are like wearing something like this, you would see like where it's around her thighs, how you would see like, you know, parts of skin like it's squeezing into it. It's perfect. It's like, I don't know if that was any.
Yeah, that really is forming. It really is forming to her body.
Like, I don't know if that's any type of editing, you know, like to it. I don't know. But like it looks very damn good. And the soft leather looks good. Like they just put some Vaseline on that. It was like, yes.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, Psylocke, she's one of the first thoughts that comes to mind from Apocalypse.
Oh, and the hair detail, the purple in the hair. I didn't even realize that.
Of course, yes. That she's just like one of the first examples or foremost examples of great costume design in that live action saga of X-Men films. But to build on it,
yeah,
with my last live action edition here, and I think our last live action edition overall.
Here we go.
I got Apocalypse. Apocalypse from X-Men Apocalypse. And here's the thing. I enjoy this look a lot, and I'm not a huge fan of the comic accurate and loyal look of Apocalypse. I appreciate him more toned down and not so bulky and Thanos-y, or more like Darkseid almost from DC, you know? Like that's kind of the vibe.
Yes.
That's kind of the vibe he puts off. Like I think he's kind of the response to DC's Darkseid as Marvel's Apocalypse. I feel like they're kind of a kindred spirit. But this live action interpretation played by Oscar Isaac, this is another one where I'm gonna point out the detail, but this time, you know, in the carvings of the plates and in the carvings of like around his neck and across his chest and all down his midsection, like the amount of detail just all over this thing is amazing. And I'm a sucker for Oscar Isaac, so I had to include Apocalypse here. And I just rewatched this movie the other day actually, because it is, like I've been saying, the foremost example of good costume design in the live action X-Men universe. But
can we just one thing I just noticed is that you see the Egyptian symbol like on his stomach. I love that. I just I've never noticed that like till now.
Well, and that's what's really fun about this conversation is it's given me an opportunity to look at the details. Like that wasn't particularly something I noticed before I started doing a lot of research for this topic, like the details in his suit. And the details in his suit are so fine, and there's so many of them that like it just looks so clean.
It's like armor on top of armor on top of armor on top. Give props to the one of the horsemen who put that shit on him as they was falling. Like she put that on perfect.
Right.
Like
No, yeah, she's an underrated MVP in terms of Apocalypse's general existence.
Seriously, he must have did something to her. He must have gave her some good stuff because wow.
Right.
Like it's on even the whole.
And I didn't even notice this till just now, but the tubes that kind of plug into the back of his head, they look like they wrap around his biceps and go down to his hands.
Yeah, like it's going into his outfit, and it's like I just realized that it's like it's snaking around.
Yeah. It looks really, really cool.
Wow.
And I don't know the practicality of that. Like, I don't think that's actually serving any purpose for Apocalypse. It just looks cool as fuck.
Yeah, this was just for him to have all this stuff up, this for like Gene to take it off. Like just imagine you get dressed up and someone just takes it off like that. Like I would be pissed.
And with that, maybe we hop on to your next one right below it.
Right below it. Oh, yeah. Yep. This is Jean Grey.
Jean Grey.
This is honestly I think maybe number 2 of my favorite looks of her. And I'm not going to get too much into like the whole Phoenix side of the look, but the whole, I've never seen, Jean is all, this one thing about this look that I love is that Jean has always been the good girl. Like, oh, I'm going to wear this, I'm going to wear that. I might wear a skirt, but you know what? I'm not going to have it too long because I'm going to go to like my jumpsuit again. This is like, oh girl, I'm going to have some leggings on with a Phoenix symbol covering my titty. And that's it. That's all you're going to get. That's it.
That's all.
Like,
nah, yeah. And this one's returning to the Phoenix must be lusty or something because the Phoenix costumes are typically pretty sexualized, especially for women. And I don't want to act like there aren't other sexualized costumes across comic book media, because if you look at any art from the 80s and 90s in comic book media, you'll see that every female superhero or villain was obviously sexualized.
Very. Very.
But yeah, this is another one that's just super fucking cool. And that, look at her arms.
That's what I was about to say.
Like,
it's like, it looked like it's like feathers, or like some really like lava like feathers with like eagle talons as her fingers. Like, it's screaming like,
and it like,
yeah, huh?
I was gonna say it like kind of exudes that what the Phoenix like does, like it's almost like festering and like corrupting.
Yeah,
her arm, like it's slowly taking over, sort of. Like that's really, really cool.
And like, I just love like how this is like, it looks like the suit is alive, like literally, because it's like magma in it. Like, it's literally like coiling deep, and it's just like, and then the choker with like come on, you have a choker on. Like, it's just so good. And also like how like the Phoenix head is like perfectly between her breasts. Like, it's just like, I'm
gonna venture the guess that this is just a fan made piece of art.
It's not. It's a comic sketch.
What?
I guarantee, I'm telling you, Colton, it is. And if I could find it, I will put it in here. I'm serious, dude. The rest of this podcast, I'm going,
because here's the thing: is that this is a really modern piece of art, and I feel like I don't know. You look at early 2000s comics, this could easily be an early 2000s look. Oh no, shit! What's it in?
I don't know. It's in Grant Morrison's new X-Men, The Resurrection of Jean Grey.
All right, there you go. That's all I wanted. That's all I needed the people to know it was a costume that was out there.
Yep. And I'm going to add it in just so you can look at what I'm looking at too, so you can see the comic look at it. It's literally the same.
Thank you.
I'm about to put it in here right now. It's above Zorn.
Oh, spoiler alert.
I'm sorry.
Yes, this is a dope look, and this is the comic accurate take I would have expected. But that is definitely just a dramatization of that look, for sure. Like, that's a really, really cool look. I love it.
Yeah, I kind of like the head more on the comic one.
Well, in the comic version, she is fully engulfed in flame. And that really, really makes the look all the more comic booky. Like, she's not pale, fair-skinned. She is fully ablaze.
This doesn't even scream, to me, honestly, this coming from me, you know how I am. This doesn't even scream Jean Grey to me, or like even Phoenix. Nah. It seems something more sinister. Like, it actually looks sinister.
Yeah, they don't. That's one thing for the portrayal of the Phoenix. I'll save it. I can't.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to not to really be like, oof. It's really hard. We've been doing this
I know. Again, and we've been doing this for 3 months now. Every time the Phoenix comes up, we kind of shove it on down because next month, at the end of November, we will be talking all of the Dark Phoenix. That is the entire premise of the episode is the Phoenix, and it'll all of the Phoenix discussion will be there at the end of November. But yeah, this one really, really brings the Phoenix to life in a really powerful way, and definitely freaky.
Should we
a scary look indeed.
Yeah. Do you want to jump into yours, or just sum up the Phoenix stuff with like one more character and that's it? Or
yeah, you know what? Go ahead. Sum up your last Phoenix character.
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I know I have so much Phoenix stuff, but okay.
But you love the Phoenix,
and
if you love the Phoenix,
and y'all will figure out why. It's a deeper meaning in that next podcast. So stay for that. But okay, so Jean Grey's main love interest that makes sense, Scott Summers, or one of the Phoenix Five, Cyclops.
There you go.
This
man,
don't he kind of look like Nova?
Yes.
Okay,
that was my first thought.
Okay, so we're here. Okay, this matte black with this chrome Phoenix armor. And his visor.
Dude, the visor is what always made that Dark Phoenix Cyclops look for me, because
it looked like a phoenix. It looked like a bird beak. I just realized that.
Yeah, it looked more like a bird. Like us. Oh, that's hard as fuck.
Oh shit! I'm literally just noticing that.
No, yeah, it looks more like a bird beak. It's fucking cool. And I mean, he didn't make my list, but I also considered a Phoenix 5 member, and I'll get to that later whenever I have a different version of that character out here. But Cyclops, this is just fucking gas. It really is, and there's not much else to say other than the matte black and the chrome red, because it's not incredibly detailed beyond that. That is what the suit is about.
It's simple but effective. It's just.
Ooh. And see, that's something that Cyclops lacks a lot of across his costume design, is that his costume is always simple, but it's never like too incredibly cool. Like, it's like he is always the one that looks like he's wearing a soldier suit. Typically, like, it's just like he's just dressed up as you would expect a normal person fighting alongside the X-Men would be sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like for me.
I mean, because most of his design is in his visor, because that's really like the biggest attribute that he can.
Absolutely. That is where his character is really brought to life.
I would love to see a live action, someone wearing this and someone wearing the Jean costume we just talked about. Them two together wearing these costumes would look so sexy. Oh, God.
It would be powerful. They would be
that
powerful.
Looks so sexy, but.
And you know what? If there's anything that, like, I would be like, MCU likes to take some, like, big ass swings every once in a while. If they wanted to adapt that Avengers versus X-Men, like, to live action, I'd be like, that'd be like a wet dream. Not gonna cap.
I feel like if you would see that, you would be like, Aurora is dying somewhere right now. Like,
she's dying a real death.
Yes. I'm like dying over. First of all, whoever they need to get to be Scott in that needs to be jacked. I'm talking like Captain America, like when he first came out, jacked.
Well, and that's another one of those reasons that Cyclops' costume design is relatively boring, is he's typically not a jacked dude. He's typically a pretty lanky, normal guy. And so, like, his costume design kind of reflects that most of the time. However, in this adaptation and what the Phoenix Force does to Scott is make him fucking jacked.
I honestly think the 90s Scott was when he really got jacked, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he starts bulking up.
Yeah,
then, you know, he gets the big chest and the large arms and stuff, and for sure. But yeah, that Cyclops look is just strong, But yeah, that wraps up your Phoenix 5,
That's
right?
it for
Like
me.
what
No
you have
more.
there?
No more birds. No more birds.
All right. I will say, if there was another member of the Phoenix 5 I was going to take, it was
I
Colossus.
knew he was gonna say Colossus.
And that's my next one, is the classic take on Colossus, drawn by Dave Cockrum, if you can find it. You know, the chrome skin and the red wrist clasps and the red pointy shoulders coming to a point, accented by the yellow to really get you reminiscent on those good old Soviet days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's the perfect combination of being straight to the point and getting a little background on the character. Like, yeah, I look at this guy and I'm like, yeah, he's probably Russian.
I just noticed he's like, his skin is showing a lot.
Oh yeah, like he's got a lot of leg coming out of that costume, man.
The sides too. Like, I forgot.
Oh yeah, he's got his sides are exposed.
Like, that metal is his skin. I just like realized that. Like, and I always knew that, but he's wearing a leotard with thigh-high boots. Okay.
Yeah. Like this is kind of a serve. It's like he's getting a little flamboyant.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what it's giving me.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. He's got the bodybuilder thing going on. But I love the look, and I don't have a ton else to say about it. If you know anything about the X-Men, if you're here and you envisioned Colossus, that's exactly what I'm talking about, because Colossus has a pretty universal
Can
look.
we just say one thing about Colossus, that he looks so menacing? Like, he looks like he could fuck you up, and he has one of the biggest hearts in the X-Men.
Oh, he's such a sweetheart, dude. That's really what this makes this character hit home for me, is that he is just a big, menacing brute. And then you talk to him for like 2 seconds and he's like, I do not want to hurt anybody. Please stop.
Yes. All he cares about is really his baby sister, and that's it. Like, don't mess with the X-Men or my
don't fuck
sister.
with his baby sister.
That's it. We don't got nothing.
This is not what the X-Men are about, Deadpool.
Yeah, I love Colossus. Yeah.
He's a classic. What's next on your docket here?
I'll go get to him later, because that's a perfect blend for me. Let me see. Angel and Archangel in one image.
Angel and Archangel. I almost went with the Archangel because it is just so. That is a fucking look right there. And like, that's one of the more iconic X-Men costume designs, is Archangel, I'd say.
Archangel looks fucking amazing. And like, the real reason why, even though he has never looked like that with like one side, like he never looked like Two-Face, but the reason why is to show like how badass Warren got when he became Archangel. Like, he literally, like, his wings, like, everything on him can hurt you. That's the thing. Like, he's
the Archangel, and I mean, like, as like brought to life in like Apocalypse. It's by Apocalypse, right, that he becomes Archangel.
Yeah,
in pretty much every
in Apocalypse, yes.
Yeah,
without Mrs. Sinister,
yeah. But whenever he becomes just a weapon of destruction, and like, you wouldn't glean that from the way he looks. You'd be kind of like, this dude's about to like break dance in the middle of a disco, but like that's the vibe he gives me. And then he's actually like, nah, I'm gonna murder you.
Like, all he gotta do is like flick his wings out, and like 5 fucking shards of metallic feathers just comes out. But one thing I liked about the animation, and also like when he was, in cartoons, and then also when he's in comics, when he's Archangel, he never really flaps his wings, unless it was in like the movie he did. But when he was Archangel, always seemed like his wings were just out and he would just go.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't need a flap. Yeah. He said, no, we don't do flapping here. We do soaring.
We don't do flapping.
We do soaring.
No
we
flap.
don't flap. We soar. That's what.
No flap.
That's what he's giving me. Like, even his costume design, like with Mr. Sinister, hooked him the fuck up.
It's true.
Like, if Mr. Sinister was not sinister, I will go for him for my, like, costume. Also, like, how his, you see how, like, one side is just like a normal eagle wing, but also on Archangel, it curves up. Like, it's like, he has that bone area sticking out.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, oh my God. He just looks, oh my goodness. He makes my womanhood tremble when he's Archangel. Like, he just,
I mean, like, I don't want to cap. Like, there's only one reason I don't like Warren Worthington, and it's because he's a little bit of a prick.
yeah.
Like, a little bit of a rich pretty boy prick.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy, is he a pretty.
He is pretty.
Boy.
He is
That
pretty.
is an attractive man.
Like, I knew when,
That
like,
is an
in the
attractive
first ever, what was it? Uncanny X-Men was the first ones, right?
Yeah,
I knew Cyclops
Uncanny
had to be a little intimidated when Warren was hitting on Jean. Like, damn, he got money
Right.
and he cute and he built
Right.
and he literally is an angel. Damn. Like,
see, the only thing for me, like, whenever I think about Warren Worthington, I can't help but think about when Giant Size, like, whenever that whole storyline gets wrapped up and he's ultimately like, man, fuck these guys. They ain't the X-Men. We're the X-Men. And it's like, come on, dude. Ain't this what y'all were trying to stop? This like staunch contrarianism where you're like, nah, it's us, not them.
a privileged mutant. That's what it is. But, you know, even though his personality could be such a fucking douche, like, like Colton's favorite, you know, fuck this guy. But but his costume is Archangel. I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a go on to my next one.
Yeah, sure.
I got Cable.
Cable. Let me go up to that.
And he'll be below Jubilee and next to my Storm.
Oh, I see it. Oof.
Yeah. This is a classic look for me, and this one I'm gonna sound like a little bit of a hypocrite, because you might look at this and go, well, hey, this is one of Cyclops' costumes, and there's a reason that's like kind of purposeful though. Is like he's Nathan Summers. He's a distant descendant of Scott.
Yeah, and
it's really the metal arm and the yellow eye. That shit, that's just cool. Like, he's one of those characters who came out of that late 90s, like, techno
G.I.
era
Joe.
where, like, yeah, like, he's just like a mesh of, like, several different things, and it comes together really, really, I mean, a little cornily, but cool. I think he's just like a big menacing brute who will put a cap in your ass. That's just kind of the deal.
Don't like, and I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, it looked like Cyclops, but if Cyclops was in this, it doesn't give me the same effect as Cable. Like,
no, certainly not. And I mean, like, because I mean, Cyclops I'm generally talking about like the straps that come over, and he wouldn't be rocking the big ass boots or the leg holsters there, but he rocked the straps over his shoulders, but he also went long sleeve with it because he doesn't have the absolute fucking cannons that Cable does.
Like he doesn't have like the arm titties enough for you know that outfit, but Cable with the gun and then all these like pockets that probably has like hella ammo or whatever the fuck he has in it. It's just, and then also the eye is the eye, doesn't that produce like a laser or something? If I'm not mistaken.
I think there are some stories where it can, but I don't think it's one that's acted on a lot.
Okay, but anyway, like, just put Josh Brolin, Thanos, into this outfit, and he looks amazing.
I mean, Josh Brolin, whenever he was in Deadpool 2 as Cable, I was like, fuck yeah. And he looked cool, and it was a good fit for the role. But I think that if they would have gone a little flashier with the costume, it could have gone so much better. Like,
what?
I mean, coming from the future, I don't think it's that far of a stretch to say that like they're their stuff could have gotten a little bit more.
And honestly, in
flashy.
Deadpool, that flashy suit could have worked. Cause Deadpool would have just shitted on him the whole time. Like, this is how flashy
Exactly.
it
He
looked.
made fun of him for it mercilessly.
Like, Deadpool would have been in his ass. Like, oh, I just know it. I don't have Deadpool on my list at all.
I thought about it, but I didn't end up pulling the trigger on Deadpool. And actually looking, I think I only have one left.
Oh, okay, sure.
How about you? What about you? How many you got left here?
I think I only have two.
All right, then let's hit one of yours real quick. We'll hit mine and we'll finish it off with yours.
Okay, okay, which one do I want to do? Okay. So Professor X with his helmet. The House of X, Professor X.
Ah, man. See, this is a really interesting choice because this is like a brand new Professor X design. This is fresh off the presses within the last few years. And it's one that it took me a second before I really, really became a fan of this look. Whenever I first saw it back in like 2019 or 2020 or whatever. But it's grown on me immensely because like you just got a portable Cerebro on your head, bro. You just got a portable Cerebro?
A portable fucking Cerebro, and that looks scary as shit.
No, yeah, he look freaky.
He looks fucking insane.
he looks fucking insane.
Like, I'm serious. Like, don't come in my fucking house with this fucking flowers with that helmet on. Like, don't, like...
Are you trying to freak the fuck out of me?
Like, I would have punched the shit out of him. Like, what is you doing? Like, why do you look like that? Like,
no, that's a...
like...
That's a classic
I
right
would
there.
love Moira McTaggart to be like, Charles, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just being like...
Get that shit off your head.
Get that shit off your fucking head. Like, what the fuck? Like,
she opens the door and is just like, ah!
Like, you had to put that shit on you couldn't have like a battery pack in your side with like lines going to your temples. I would have took that. But no, you had to put the fucking, like, Charles. You look, he just looks scary. It's like, how do you even see?
You sent like, here's the thing about this costume that's always been interesting to me is that it kind of removes the whole consent-based mind reading that I feel like he's been big.
That rule, yeah.
Because I feel like it just like automatically projects him to be able to perceive where people are and know where everything is and like just kind of like do you live reading people's thoughts? Like,
I have him zoomed up the helmet and it's giving me fucking chills because he is grinning in this. Like,
it's the grin. It's the grin.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what would be so cool if like Cyclops had like this helmet and it get like off a big ass beam up an X, like a big X beam. That's what it's giving to me. Like, it's giving that. Like, it just...
That.
A portable Cerebro on your head that gotta look like that? Why couldn't it be in the shape of a C? Like, it could have been anything. Like,
could have been anything.
That's the only thing I can say about this. It's just how creepy he looks, and it's so different. It's so vastly different.
No, that was another thing that I respected about this choice from them is it is such a hard pivot from what you know Charles Xavier to be, because like this version of Charles can also walk. He can
walk, yeah.
He's not wheelchair bound.
And he's kind of fit. You know, he got the definition right here. So I'm like, and he got the nerve.
See, I'd say he's a good looking man, but I don't know.
And he got the nerve to have a fucking flower pot. Like, Charles, put that shit down. Like,
he's like trying to, like, you look at this like he's like trying to take attention away from his helmet.
Like, yo.
He's like, hey, have you guys seen my flowers? And everyone's like, Charles, shut the fuck up. What's that on your head?
That looks scary as shit. Like, it just does. And that's like all I have to say about it.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm running on limited time here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run to my next one here.
Okay.
I'm going, my last one I'm going Beast, as seen by drawn by John Cassidy. This is the perfect combination of the feline aspects that we discussed on our Something Blue episode. That in his face, the feline aspects of it combined with just the man, like he is so clearly just a furry blue man when you look at his shoulders and stuff. Like I think it's this is my favorite interpretation of Beast.
I just love like how it stops right here. Like it stops right like under his underarms. Like, and it stays up. So it's like, and that's literally it, 'cause his feet and stuff is out. So it's like,
his feet and his shins, like it goes down to like below his knee and then right below his chest, and like that's it.
That actually,
and I've always really, I really enjoy it, and I don't know what it is. I think it's just that it's really like original. I wouldn't anticipate it. It feels kind of weird, and I like that about it.
It's very weird, and it goes like in his feline face. Of course, that's my favorite. You know how Beast look. It's the feline. I love the feline.
I love that.
And it's, you know, he also looks very ferocious in this outfit.
And he's also, he does. He looks menacing, and I think that's important for the character. Another one of my favorite things about this specific illustration here by John Cassidy is the way that his fur over the top of his head is coming down like long hair over his face. And it's like you're not like, it's like weirdly sexy, but you're not like attracted to it. You're just like, damn, that's a good look for the Beast.
Yeah, like, boy, you got some conditioner or something, because you're looking kind of moisturized. Right. Like
that should look good.
Yeah, it don't look oily or nothing.
They be trying to get that in them Pantene commercials.
It's given that, like, and I also love the it's not a bracelet.
The wrist guard.
Yes, like I love how that's just right there. Just because it's just there. I think he was looking a little bit too blue, so he's like, yeah, let me slap these on. Boom.
Right.
That's, yeah, and I like how there's a zipper in the front, so he just puts it on and zips it up right there, and it doesn't get tangled in his hair at all. So.
Nothing. He's got to have some sort of undershirt getting rocked underneath it. I gotta guess. I gotta hope.
Yeah, like.
Or not undershirt. Like, what would that even be? Underwear?
Oh, he just shaved that whole part of his body, and that's it.
Just shaved his whole patch of his body.
That's it. He just a blue ass man right there.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, that wraps up my top 10 here for the X-Men. You want to throw out one more for you?
Okay, and my final one is, I forgot my honorable mention, but if you want it, like, we could throw that out.
We'll do that next.
We could do that. Okay.
Well, actually, I mean, like, that'll be pretty topical next month.
It will. Okay, so I could just, cause I'm not really pressed on it.
We'll save it.
Okay, so my final one, bouncing from that creepy ass Professor X, is Zorn. And Zorn is kind of confusing, because is that Magneto? It is Magneto.
Underneath the mask. Yeah. Okay.
Because I remember some illustrations that say he had like a star forehead or some shit. Like, it was very,
his whole storyline's pretty unclear to me, and it's one that I've only read once, and it was like a year and a half ago, and I remember not being like a huge fan. I do love the character design, but I remember being like seeing the twist, and I'd already known it and stuff, so it was already going to be underwhelming. But yeah, like that is Magneto in that costume.
But that helmet, him and Professor X with these fucking helmets, and then also the metal chains or whatever it is going around his chest. That just looks.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that.
It just looks, and like how his face have like he kind of reminds me of Penis. I don't know why, but it gives me a Penis look to the helmet. 'Cause it looks like he's in pain. And it just looks,
I get you. Yeah, it gives me like a weird demented, and already kind of demented, but like, I feel like this could be like a Taskmaster helmet.
You know what this looks like? Mr. Sinister kidnapped Magneto and made him a new suit. Like I just a helmet.
Right. There you
That's
go.
literally what it looks like. And how his hands look all bruised up, and his like how one of his shoulders don't even look all the way formed. He just looks crazy.
He's a little freaky.
Yeah. And that's like all I have to say about him, that he just looks fucking weird.
I like that. I like that we went with like the weirder choices here late in the
Yeah,
game.
it was a nice, touch up at the end.
Yeah, we had plenty of the classic costumes throughout, but we got a few of the weird ones in, which I appreciate. Yeah. Hell yeah. I only have one last thing on top of our costume designs here. I wanted to recommend exactly one horror X-Men read for the people, and I know that I put you on a few weeks back too, but the Curse of the Mutants arc is fantastic.
Amazing.
I can't say enough about it. And if you like vampires, which to be frank, it's not like expressly my favorite spooky topic of vampires. This was really compelling though, and you get some tie-ins with Blade. And I think Gambit and Storm and randomly have their own little one-off shoot here. Like it's a fun read.
And you got like,
there's what?
Oh, what you was gonna say?
I was gonna say what is there like? There's like 5 comics in the main run, the Curse of the Mutants X-Men run, but there's also a bunch of ancillary issues that you can read and plug in different spots between issues and stuff. Like there's also a Namor.
Oh yeah, Namor. Yeah, he comes in too.
He has a tie-in arc too. Like it was just it's a fun one, and if you're looking for something to get started here in the spooky times of Halloween,
and if you are a Cyclops fan, this is one of the best leadership roles of Cyclops ever. Just read it and you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you're a fan of M. Night Shyamalan films, of his twist endings, this is a good one. So yeah, it'll definitely give you a good old twist there at the end. But I don't have much else to say here for the Halloween Spooktacular. You got anything else you want to throw out there, Aurora? That's for just to say, like X-Men definitely gave for it to be one team. I think that is a fantastic team of costumes. Period, and having their own. Like how they all look like. Okay, like the Avengers, of course, they have their. They a team and they have their different looks that are iconic. But the X-Men somehow can look so different. Each member has their own different, unique look, and you can still tell the X-Men.
That's the team. That's the team. And I always loved the falling back on the yellow accent to kind of to tie it all together. Like that was always the main thing that tied it all together was the yellow and different shades of blue. And I loved it. And I can't say enough about the character design and across all of X-Men comics. However, I have just a couple minutes before I have to leave. So
that's it.
I will call this the end here of the 140th episode of the Penny Bloom Podcast, Mutants Monthly Edition number 3, the Halloween Spooktacular. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Aurora Carter. Thank you very much.
Thank you for always bringing me back. I love it here.
I'm so glad to have you, and I'll have you on next month and the month after. And I mean, we'll be talking pretty soon over the new Marvel movie that comes out in less than 2 weeks.
Yes,
Eternals. We'll definitely be getting back on a pod before our next Mutants Monthly to talk about Eternals again, and I cannot wait for that. So I'll talk to you then for the Eternals.
Okay.
If you would, I ask that you go to patreon.com/CoroBloom, where you'll find like 19 hours of exclusive content. Head to Twitter, follow @PennyBloomPod, follow Instagram @PennyBloomPodcast. And remember, peace, love, and bloom, and always praise the Phoenix Five's costume choices.